The ancient Hungarian horntail arrives on Tuesday. Let's talk about everything we need to know for this event. I'm Professor Voqas, and this is Harry Potter Wizards Unite.
Hello, Professor. I didn't see you there.
First things first, this event is January 19th through the 22nd from 11 a.m. Pacific time to 11 a.m. Pacific time, which is normal for these type of events. It's just the days that this is happening is odd. Normally this would happen Friday through Monday, usually over a weekend, but because of the way January and the holidays fell according to some of the official sources, because people had asked this question, why is it in the middle of the week? It was just because of how the events in January, when you laid them out after the holidays were over, this ended up getting stuck here, and in the future they're supposed to be on weekends as per normal for this type of event. So this event will be Tuesday through Friday, so Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 11 to 11. So it ends up being 3 days, obviously, in actual time. So definitely an oddity. I know some people, this doesn't work for them very well because it is during the week, so that is unfortunate for this particular event. During the event, ancient Hungarian horntail obviously is going to appear more often because that's what this whole event is about. But they did say that Draco and Fenrir would also have a slight increase. So not meaning there's going to be a ton of them, but we should see a little more of them if you didn't already finish them from the last event. I still have a little bit further to go with both of them, so I'm happy with some more of those guys too. In addition to their increased spawn rate, there'll be 4 ingredients. It'll be the witch sharpening ingredients that will also have an increased spawn rate, which is the armadillo bile, the newt spleen, the ginger root, and the ground scarab beetles. So those ingredients should be more on the ground, so you can collect those and then brew more witch sharpening potions, which kind of brings me to the next part of the event, which is all 3 extimulo potions. All of them will have a 50% reduced brew time using the master notes, and witch sharpening will also have a 50% reduced brew time if you use the master notes. So it'll be a good time to brew during these days, even if you're not able to get out and do the rest of it. If you can collect the ingredients, you could be brewing during this time and it'll just go a little bit quicker, which these are the potions generally that are needed for higher level adversaries, like the ancient Hungarian horntail. Another part of the event will be fortresses, and in fortresses, no matter which runestone you use, if you go to Forest 4 or higher, you have a guaranteed family fragment. So it used to be Dark 5, well it normally is Dark 5, you have a 100% chance of getting something. Now it doesn't guarantee a specific one, but if you use one from Magizoology, you're going to get a Magizoology Fortress foundable, Forest 4 or higher. In addition, fortresses are going to give you increased wizarding experience, increased challenge experience, and spell energy. Spell energy being nice because it's going to replenish your energy back a little bit. It just allows you to run fortresses longer without having to replenish energy, which is nice. In the store, of course, there will be some bundles, and I generally don't talk about these anymore just because it's been the same old, same old. This one is a little different than your normal bundle, especially your free one is really, I guess, what I want to go over, which is the Adversaries Starter Bundle. Because it comes with an edible dark mark, 2 healing potions, 1 extimulo potion, and then 30 spell energy. The spell energy, kind of whatever, but they're giving you an edible dark mark, so you want to make sure to collect that. It's a free dark mark, which do cost a lot of coins by themselves. And they're actually giving us full potions this time, instead of usually giving us the ingredients for tonic for trace detection. That's what we've been used to. They're actually giving us full potions to just use. Granted, it is just an extimulo, and I generally am using potents for something like the Hungarian horntail, and then strongs for other stuff. But the regular extimulo should work for, say, your Dracos and Fenrirs if you want to just speed things up a little, even if they're not necessary for you. On to the ancient Hungarian horntail itself. When you encounter it in the wild, of course, it's going to have 2 guards in front of it. It's going to have a formidable acromantula, then a sphinx, and then you fight the Hungarian horntail. Now, the formidable acromantula, of course, Magizoologists will have an advantage against it. So if you're a Magizoologist, you'll have a little easier time with that first thing, although the guards aren't too difficult. And if you're a sphinx, that's something new, obviously. That is geared toward professors. Professors are advantageous against it. So professors will have a little easier time. As with every other feared adversary, as well as the lethals when they come out, is nobody has any type advantage during the final one. We're all on the same footing for that one. And in this case, the ancient Hungarian horntail, in the registry itself, if it starts at the easiest at the top of the registry, Draco, and it goes all the way down to Narcissa being the hardest, and this is actually the second to last. It's listed after the other two dragons, but I would actually say this one, it is a tough thing to fight, granted, but the targeting reticule, this one definitely kind of has a slow up and down. Sometimes it shifts to the side a little bit, but it's not too hard once you've got it. When I put videos out of the first day, as soon as I encounter a couple, I'll kind of show you in my battles what that looks like, but I definitely find it a lot easier than the Norwegian Ridgeback. That one's just like all over the place. It makes a triangle, but it's crazy. So this one shouldn't be as bad. And even though it doesn't specifically affect gameplay or anything, I do appreciate that they put the Ancient Hungarian Horntail as this month's adversary, because we're going over the Triwizard Secrets and Triwizard Tournament, and this was the dragon that Harry fought in the tournament. So it goes with the flavor, the theme of the month, to have the two Triwizard events, and boom, there's an Ancient Hungarian Horntail, because this is the one that Hagrid brought in and stuff like that for the event, in addition to the other dragons. Although this is the only one he said that this one is seriously misunderstood creatures, but that Ancient Hungarian Horntail is one nasty, nasty creature. So even Hagrid was a little bit intimidated by it. Moving on to the tasks of the event themselves, which do get us some defense against dark arts books, I guess would be the biggest thing, even though you can get them from adversaries. This is going to get us some bigger chunks, as well as some other smaller stuff along the way. So the first thing we need to do is defeat 35 foes in Wizarding Challenges, so it doesn't matter what chamber we're going to. My recommendation, go to some of those Forest 4 or highers, use some of those runestones for fortress foundables that you need, so that you just know you're going to get guaranteed. And if it's you only need 1 out of the 3 possible, you're going to obviously have to run more, or 5 possible, or however many fortress foundables that family has. It will get you 2 strong extimulo, but if you're just doing that, you're going to hit this 35 foes over the 4 days, no problem, or 3 days, excuse me, no problem. Next up should be interesting. It's find 2 wit sharpening gifts, and if you do that, you're going to get a wit sharpening potion. Now, find 2 wit sharpening gifts means you're going to spin greenhouses and or inns, and you're going to receive these, or in fortress battles, they can be rewarded. Now, I will say my rate has definitely seemed pretty high. I get them enough. I get at least, if I was running fortresses, I would be getting multiple per day, which would cover these 2 right here. Keep in mind, these are gifts that you're going to get, and then you're going to send them to other people. Now, last event, when they had this, it was 3, and people definitely struggled. It's like they didn't increase the rate at all. But honestly, since that time, after the event ended, then they seem to increase the rate, and it seems to still be that way for me. If I spin greenhouses, I get them reasonably enough, but definitely fortress battles, I seem to be getting them more often. I either hope that they keep it at least at this level, so I know I'm probably going to get those 2, or even better is maybe increase it just a little bit more. Either in fortresses, so that people that can't get out can go on the night bus and still complete this task, maybe especially Forest 4 or higher, make that really a good chance to get them. Or at least increase it there and increase greenhouses and inns' ability to drop those for us. The next one should be fairly easy. It's use 1 edible dark mark. If you go and claim your free gift from the Diagon Alley from the store, they're giving you an edible dark mark. Just use it, and it's going to get you 2 armadillo bile, which is a wit sharpening ingredient. Keep in mind, when you use a dark mark, it takes about 30 minutes. It's less than 30 minutes, but it's 3 over 30 minutes, but 1 kind of comes out right away. So it's really a little over 20 minutes is when the 3rd one actually pops for you, the 3rd adversary, and then you just have to finish fighting it. So however long that takes, that's about how long you need to commit if you want to get the most use out of your edible dark mark. While you're fighting those adversaries and doing those 35 foes in fortresses, you should be able to finish the next thing, which is to get 1,500 challenge experience, not wizarding experience, but challenge experience from adversary chains, meaning the guards and foes, just whatever you're fighting gets you small bits, and in fortresses you get challenge experience as well. So between those 2, you need to get 1,500 challenge experience, which definitely takes a little bit longer using adversaries. I would definitely recommend Forest 4 or higher. That's going to get you bigger chunks of challenge experience. And when you finish that, they're going to give you an edible dark mark. So again, another dark mark kind of back at us, which is great. We need to use 7 extimulo potions, any type, so regular, strong, or potent, in adversary combat. It's going to get us 20 spell energy, which again, most people are fine with this type of task because we were going to use extimulos anyway, especially against the Ancient Hungarian Horntail. Most people would. Draco and Fenrir, there's a lot of people that are like, I don't even need to use a potion during those. And I probably don't, but I end up using either a regular or a strong, mainly just to save on energy, because for me, It's a lot of times if I'm at home, I want to get energy saved. Now, if I'm trying to save potions, that's this whole adversary back and forth thing. Is the more potions you use, the more energy you save, and the less potions you use, a lot of times, the more energy you save, or have the risk of having to use a healing potion, because if something hits you 4 times in a row, sometimes that's going to knock you out. But bottom line, use 7 Extimulo. Over the 3 days, if you're fighting adversaries, you should probably have some potions available to you. Certainly brew them, and I'm sure you'll find uses for them against adversaries, especially the Horntail. Which leads us to the next potion use, which is to use 3 Wit Sharpening in adversary combat. It's going to get you 4 healing potions, which is great because the healing potions certainly come in handy for us. But the 3 Wit Sharpening something, again, we would use versus a Hungarian Horntail, not only to speed things up, but just to be able to do enough damage to keep ahead of dying and having to use too many healing potions. Deal 20,000 to adversaries. If you're fighting adversaries, even after maybe 2 Hungarian Horntails and maybe a couple other ones, or even just that, you'll pretty much hit 20,000 at that point. It's going to get you 1 defense against Dark Arts book. So this one, I wouldn't have to focus too much on it. This will just kind of happen matter of fact if you're going around fighting adversaries. And the last task you need to do is return 15 artifact fragments from the Hungarian Horntail adversary chain. Very much a convoluted way. I talked about the formidable Acromantula, the Sphinx, and then the ancient Hungarian Horntail. Each of the first 2 guards is going to drop you a mysterious fragment. It's something from that page. And then the Horntail itself is always going to drop its own fragment as a bonus and then give you another one. So you're going to get 4 fragments per ancient Hungarian Horntail. So to get 15 of these back, you're going to go ahead and have to do, obviously, 4 of these. 4 times 4 is 16. You're going to have your 16 fragments, which is going to meet the 15. It's going to get you 2 defense against Dark Arts books. If you manage to complete all the tasks on that list, you're going to get 5 defense against Dark Arts books, another edible Dark Mark, so nice, they're giving us some more of those, 60 gold, and then obviously some experience and some energy, not a big deal. Mainly it's those 5 defense against Dark Arts books, and then a free edible Dark Mark is always nice for doing all this stuff. Over here in the registry, I did want to show you 2 things. One that has nothing to do with this event, unless of course Dracos pop up. I do have a Draco on the bronze page ready to place, so I'm going to place him real quick. And then we'll get back to the actual event information. But I did want to place him and make sure you guys saw that I was able to place him. So let's go down to the actual page we're doing, which is all the way down, second to last. So yeah, Narcissa here at the bottom, and then 1 page back. And it's supposed to go in difficulty. Although I didn't find Narcissa difficult as a professor, mainly because she wasn't dodging me. I've heard that can be an issue. So I think this is just kind of relatively speaking how hard they get. Hungarian Horntail, just definitely a beast for how much damage they do, and then trying to damage them. So you can see 3 out of 9 on its image. I've seen 3 of them already just in the wild. This page, though, will be what this event is about. I mean, it's got all the different things. It actually has, it's all about his battle with it, actually, because there's Harry's Firebolt, and then it's got the Triwars Tournament, the miniature one that he pulled out of the bag when he knew what it was in advance. Barty Crouch Sr. was handing the bag out. The Dragon Tooth, and then the last is the egg that he actually had to get from that, and then the Horntail itself. Now, one thing I will mention about this and how to go about this, and I leave this up to your option. I just want to point this out, that this has been a discussion on Reddit and Discord, is you're trying to fill out the page. Once you get the Horntail, it's then trying to get all the other images. You're going to finish it first, because if I see 6 more Horntails, I'll be done with that image, and I could place it. But the other things, 15 fragments, 10 fragments, 12 fragments, I'm not going to have all of those filled out. I'm going to have to go through it again, which means I can place the image. If I go through again, I could actually place the image potentially a second time. What I've seen some people do is actually get it up to 9 again, like place the image, then get up to 9 again, and at that point, whenever they fight Horntails, is to not even fight the Horntail, because it uses some potions and energy and stuff, is just go through its guards and then exit, because you'll get 2 fragments. It goes a little bit quicker. Now here's the payoff / what you're losing. You're losing the defense against Dark Art book, which you would get from killing the Horntail itself. And you're losing that extra fragment, I suppose, or placing the image and building it back up. You're losing the Horntail fragment. But the thing you're saving is, for me, it would be, I would save a Wit Sharpening, a Potent, probably a Healing Potion against a Hungarian, and maybe even another Extimulo. So I'm saving, like, as a professor, I'm saving 4 potions. And I'll have to see as I fight more when I really get down exactly how many does it take. There's also the luck factor. If he hits me 4 times in a row, I might have to use 2 healing potions in a row right after each other because I use one, he nails me, and I have to use another one immediately. So you're saving that trouble by going through just the guards. That's a choice I leave up to you, but just think about trying that and seeing how much does it take you to get through 2 guards, which if it takes you no potions, I mean, you can really bust through, and during this event, if they're appearing all the time, you could just do that to get all the other fragments until you move to the next page and then start engaging Horntails again. Again, something you would have to choose based on your gameplay, but it is something that with some of the higher level foundables, people are recommending that once you've got that image and built it back up, that you just go ahead and only fight the guards and then back out and don't even fight the main thing, just to save yourself lots of resources. That is going to do it for this guide. If I had to recommend anything you should be doing right now, even though we do have reduced brew times of the extimulos and that type of thing, I've been brewing a bunch of healing potions because I was a little low on them, and then potent extimulos. I have a bunch of strong already, that's why, but potents, pretty much, when I run out of potents, I really can't fight the Horntail anymore without at least throwing 2 strongs at it. So then I would need strongs, and then when I ran out of those, I couldn't fight anymore. Just like the last event, I would love to be able to just fight a ton of them, but as with the last event, when I run out of potions, I've kind of run out of the ability to fight, as opposed to just running out of energy where I can go to an energy-rich area and that kind of thing. So I do have a bunch of potions prepped going into this, and I plan on definitely really focusing on getting ingredients and just brewing constantly so that I can at least keep my potions going so that even if I run out, I know I'll have some more a couple hours later to then be able to fight some more adversaries. I have pretty mild goals for this one. Really, each event, if I just make it to the next page, I'm pretty good with that. So if I make it to the bronze page, which I expect I will with the Hungarian Horntail, and then just start working my way toward the next one, that'd be great. Draco and Fenrir, if they are appearing just a little more often and I do see them, I have a chance to make it to silver on both of them because I have been seeing them anyway, so I've already kind of been working my way toward that, which would be cool, but that would just be a side effect. As always, thank you guys for watching this video, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Nox.